All right, what's good, everybody? Uh, Trying to get everything going here. Uh, Want to welcome y'all to the show. Welcome, Lawrence. Good to see you in here. Hold on, let me get some stuff ready here. Right. All right. All right. Good to see y'all in here. Good to see you in here. All right. All right. Let's get to it. Well, first off, I guess I give my rundown. Well, open the link real quick. All right. Open the link up and get this going. All right. Well, I wanted to give a rundown of my as you can tell, it's all about villains. And villains make the story, they make the hero. It's born without them. A hero is only good as his best villain. And today I wanted to give a rundown of my top five arch villains who I thought, across anime, comics, movies, uh, books, etc. Who I thought my top five were, and starting off here with my number five, Magneto, from Marvel, from the X-Men. X-Men was one of the earliest comic books that I started reading, and I really took a liking to Magneto as far as a villain. But I never really, even though he is, I never really just saw him as that bad of a guy. Magneto always had he's just trying to do a lot for mutants. He was wanting to give them the best possible life possible, and he even he tried to go through means of not um having to deal with humanity, and but it seems like everything he tried, no matter what, human beings always came for him. So he was forced to kind of take him on and was like, you know what, forget it. And I understood that. I got it. He's very powerful, intelligent. He always kind of playing things out. But a very all around great character, I thought. Next, I'm going to number four. Hold on. And my number four here, switch it up for you, is me look. This guy right here. Lex Luthor. Especially, from the comics and dealing with the DC animated universe. He's a very intelligent character, plotted out different ways to go at Superman. His technical prowess, as far as uh, making armor and different machines to be able to fight against Superman. He was second to none, except for, of course, Bruce Wayne, Batman. But we're talking about villains, so about the only one he's a very intricate character. You could kind of tell I always found funny is when he had that look on his face of just being surrounded by idiots, being the smartest guy in the room. But he had the mastermind complex, which I tend to really like for villains, that kind of plot out things, set up paint to put their heroes, their adversaries through different tasks to kind of throw them off, and playing the long game to kind of run them down and bring them down. He's very good at that, as far as planning. It's like I said, it's technical genius. It's he's it's second to none. He's great as far as that, with being that technical scientist and all that. As far as combat, he's not, of course, he's not, the most adept combatant, but his knowledge and his expertise when it pertains to being able to create technology and twist technology to be able to use to fight against his adversaries, it more than makes up for that to make him an interesting character. Next, I'll be going to my third favorite villain. I'm going to show you. Many of you probably like this character as well. Very unique. And when I think of this character, I picked this one particular version of this character because when I think of this character, there's only one guy I think of playing this character. The Joker, and I think of Mark Hamill, aka Luke Skywalker. As far as I'm concerned, he'll always be the Joker. You can have anybody play him, anybody be the body, but there's only one voice for the Joker, and that's Mark Hamill. He's a great character, especially when it got to the, as far as the animated series, as far as in the animation and how they did the intricacies they placed with this character. He's definitely a mastermind character, but when you factor in the level of insanity in him, it's very interesting, because he's so insane. It makes you forget about how smart and intelligent he actually is. I know here in these recent string of comic books, he pointed out to Lex Luthor that he knew that Clark Kent was Superman. And he's actually going into the fact of this series of Batman books that he's telling, Batman story that he's telling. He knows that Bruce Wayne is Batman, and he's actually making his move now. But I think it's just how nuts he is and how much fun that he's had. I know when you think about The Dark Knight, when Heath Ledger played him, and I think it was whenever he said Batman said something about killing me, he was like, kill you? I don't want to kill you. It's just too much fun, I'm like that dog chasing the car. I wouldn't actually know what to do if I actually caught it. But Mark Hamill's bit as him, it's just been some great, funny, lighthearted, but you get to see the maniacal moments, and especially whenever it came to the Batman video games here recently, with him voicing them and seeing how he plots and puts things together, especially in the comics, with him actually when he killed Jason Todd, that whole string there, he's beating him with the crowbar. He's pretty sadistic as well, so that adds to his level of that's why I rate him at 3. Now we'll go to my number 2. My number 2 here. I don't know if it'd be a bit of surprise for anyone that does not know me, but this character right here, I picked him surely because of how he's rotten as hell. There's nobody more rotten than this guy. Everyone is a pawn to him. Let's see if I can find him. I know I had. Well, doggone. Can't believe it. I can't find it. Well, it's crazy. I know I saved it. I'm looking too. Well, doggone. Let's see. Well, no. Huh. Well, didn't find it. For some reason, it didn't save. But my second is Emperor Palpatine, Star Wars. And I'm really referring mostly to the Darth Plagueis book. You really in this story you get to find out how narcissistic and how he actually gave a damn about no one. So which is why, because of this, I can't even acknowledge the last 3 Star Wars movies. They're terrible. He was just how self-absorbed he was with himself from when Darth Plagueis found him, brought him in as his apprentice, and even from when you find in that moment, whenever he kills him, when he's killing him, he says, I never thought of you as being my master. I only used you the way I wanted to get what I could learn from you, every bit of information and knowledge you had, and then I always planned on killing you because he wanted to be the master. And even you see it later on the way he does with his pawns. They're nothing more. They're expendable pawns. They're expendable to him. They'd be used and tossed away like trash. And that made him my and that made him my number one, as well as being just all around powerful in the Force. He was just so powerful and so dominating with his Force powers, as well as his ability to command respect without even having to use the Force. His tactical, he was very tactical as far as battle plans wise, strategic. When you look at Order 66 and how he had it whole how he had a whole plan orchestrated and set out, where two of them and they taken out, of course, with a military that they took out the whole Jedi Order, brought down something that had been around for 20,000 plus years, I think, and it just took them down and turned it upside down. That speaks to his level of intelligence and tactical brilliance, as well as for battle. And then, of course, last but surely not least, my number one, my favorite, is this individual right here. Of course, this is who you always see. Sosuke Aizen. This guy, his level of genius is just brilliant. The power that he showed, being born with a power and a spiritual pressure that, at the time, only one rival it was the Captain Commander Genryu Sai. And it just goes to show in his level of preparation, everything he said, set out to do in his master plan. It was well thought out, from over over 100 plus years in the Soul Society. Just to masterfully and skillfully set that up that long for so long, and to actually come to almost get to where, just coming up short of his goal. And he had some of the greatest, and I mean greatest, monologues of when he was talking to his opponents, being able to antagonize him while still remaining cool and being absolutely and utterly prepared, being able to use his Shikai, which is complete hypnosis, to basically to be able to keep individuals from even being able to damage him whatsoever, to be able to touch him. It was just amazing to see that whole arc in the anime, to see how he went through and just tore everyone to shreds, and even had a plan for the Captain Commander Genryu side, because he knew it was someone who could not be taken lightly, because his sheer raw power, battle experience for over 1,000 plus years, and shrewdness and willingness to sacrifice anything and anyone to eliminate that enemy. It's just amazing. And That's why he made my number one favorite. I think he's the best villain ever created for anything of all time. But we got drop the link here. Open up the panel. Anyone come up? We can talk about it. You can bring your top five and come on up and we can have fun. Talk about some anime, comics, movies, whatever. It's open from here. Like for y'all to come on up and just come in here and let's get it. Let's get to it. Hey, how you doing, Brother Lawrence?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yep, I hear you. I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. I had echo. I was killing it. I'm sorry about that.
Good, you good.
Okay. Oh wow. That's crazy.
What?
I just went to come in and because I couldn't see anything, and all of a sudden, boom. I got all the chats. There was nothing there before. I couldn't see anything. I thought I was the only person in here, man. Oh wow! Can you still hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, cool.
So who else is chatting? I don't see anybody.
Hold on a second. Maybe I'm looking at the wrong thing.
Maybe something's wrong with mine.
Oh no, it's not. It's not you. It's
okay,
not you.
Okay.
It was me.
Good.
Okay, I got it figured out. That is so weird. Okay, all right, it is me. Okay, first of all, just so we can keep tradition alive, so people don't think anything's that things are right in the world. I disagree with everything you said, brother.
Yeah, well, that's fine. You can disagree. That's fine. Yeah, you can.
Oh no, I don't. I just wanted to say that.
Good.
I just wanted to say that. Actually, 3, 4, and 5, I definitely agree with you 100%. 100%.
Okay.
Now I don't disagree with you on Aizen and Emperor Palpatine. It's just that you're more familiar with them than I am, so I can't give that kind of that kind of aspect on them. Because I mean, Star Wars is cool, but I've always been a Star Trek
Gotcha.
dude. So
gotcha.
But speaking of Magneto is the one that's the most interesting to me.
Yes,
because
he is.
because the way Christopher Claremont wrote him, he did a couple of interviews back in the day in the late 70s, early 80s when he really started to take off, where he had made mention that the whole thing with Magneto is that he was the flip side of Xavier. And when somebody had asked him what did that pertain to, he said that Xavier is Martin Luther King Jr.
Right. Yes.
And Magneto is Malcolm X.
Exactly.
And I always found that absolutely fascinating.
And they read, the funny thing. Sorry, just to cut you off real quick. The funny thing is, they actually Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart actually talked about that whenever they did those X-Men movies.
Yeah. I mean, it's that pervasive. I mean, Chris Claremont made it abundantly clear that's what he was doing. He made no beans about it, and I always found it fascinating because when you do that, you can actually pull. And I don't know if he intended this or not. This is just my observation over collecting over the years. There's such a yin and yang between the two of them in every aspect. It's absolutely fascinating to watch. Because where you have one who is like Martin Luther King Jr. and professes peaceful coexistence, you have the other one who's like Malcolm X, who looks at the only way you're going to get that coexistence is if you fight for it through violence in some instances.
Right.
But it's also a dichotomy of yin and yang when you look at how Xavier represents mental fortitude, which would be an immovable object, so to speak. Where Magneto's powers are so physically based, he becomes the irresistible force.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And it's
Yeah.
and then you bleed it into the politics of where you look at the dynamics of of um of segregation
Mm-hmm.
or integration. You know,
Right. Right.
Mag,
Exactly. Where Magneto
Magneto
wanted
saw it.
segregation.
Exactly. Separate but equal. That's what he wanted. While Xavier wanted full integration with 100% and living side by side and interacting with each other and etc. I mean Magneto. I mean, it's one of the most fascinating characters, villains ever created.
In
I mean,
Marvel, especially.
yeah, Marvel. Because I mean, in the Marvel, let's be real, the top two are him and Doom.
Yeah, yeah. I would agree.
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
agree.
I mean,
Those
him and
are the
Doom.
best.
Yeah, I mean, can you ever see a storyline where the two of them team up together and that's it?
Oh
It's
my
I mean,
God.
that's to just take over the world. That would be
That would
insane.
be all.
That
Yeah,
would
it
be
would be. It
yeah.
would be.
And now the Joker. Hold on one second.
Okay.
Sorry about that. I had to reach for something.
Oh, you
The
good.
Joker. Yeah, the Joker is obvious. I mean, everybody knows it, whether they read the comics, watch the movies,
Right.
whatever, however way they found it. Joker
Right.
represents pure chaos.
Yes.
Pure chaos. But what a lot of people don't understand is that if you really look at it, it's controlled chaos.
Yes.
You know, a lot of people think it's just plain, out of control chaos and anarchy, but it's
Right.
controlled. The Joker
Yeah.
is a very controlled villain.
Yeah. He is. He like I said, his insanity takes the focus away from how actually intelligent he actually is.
Yep.
And his theatrics of his insanity to do that. So it makes everyone except for Batman realize how dangerous he actually is.
Mm-hmm.
It's brilliant, as far as the writing behind the character, and and how with in the animated series how you have Mark Hamill playing him with this uh, jokingly like slight innocence to him, but then you can't buy into that innocence to the way he jokes. It's just
Exactly.
it's
Yeah.
amazing. It's masterfully
Mm-hmm.
written.
He portrays himself as so cartoonish behind such a huge level of malevolence and cruelty that it's just mind boggling. It's just
Yes.
mind boggling. But like I tell everybody, goes straight for the chaos, and that's true. He's chaos, but he's more structured and organized chaos than people believe.
Right.
Because he's always got a plan. He's always got a plan. There's, like the saying goes, there's a method to his madness.
Yes, exactly. That's it. And I mean, him causing the chaos really it's so he causes a distraction to what the actual plan is. And he's very good at that because he causes so much chaos that it makes you focus on the chaos.
Yep.
Very, very wonderfully written character. That's why for me he had to be 3. So
Oh yeah. And like you were saying, his intellect is really up there.
yes,
I mean, you're talking about a guy who, for everything from creating Joker gas to the
yes.
vehicles and weapons he used, the fish that shoots guns. I mean, as kooky and corny as it might look, slapstick wise. I mean, yeah, he's genius level. There's no question to it.
Yes. Because I mean, his whole character, I mean, for combat is about throwing you off your guard, letting you down to hit you with that sucker punch. I mean, that's what it's all about. And he's which is why find it interesting, that how Batman understood that, man, look, I can't get to the level of this. I can't get to the depths that this guy does, because if I doing so would have to mean that I would end up becoming him. And which Joker is willingly trying to do, to try to turn Batman into a version of him. Because
that's his ultimate goal, because they've done storylines in sort of a what if scenario. The Joker's only purpose in life is to pull Batman to his side. But
Yes.
if you see in some of those storylines where he thought Batman was dead, he just gave up everything and went
Yes.
sane, and
Yeah.
had a normal life in the whole 9 yards. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
this is personal, fam.
Yeah. I mean, well, I think Batman is his purpose.
Well, his
That
existence is due to Batman.
yes, yes, it is. It is. It is. He's his whole reason for being what he is.
Yeah, yeah. So if you look, so then when you start looking, like going to the heading of your stream, a hero is only as good as his best villain.
Exactly.
That shows you why Batman is what he is, because Batman was created in a moment of chaos when both his parents, okay, were killed.
Yes.
And what
Yes.
he did is he went, he learned, he practiced, he studied, he did everything he could to become Batman so he can remove that chaos from someone else's life, if not the
Yes.
city as a whole, only for one of his first missions to create a level of chaos that's never been seen before. Because his
Right.
first
Right.
case was at the Acme Chemical thing, and he knocked the guy into the vat who became the Joker.
Right. Right.
You see what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
So literally, he Batman's born in chaos. He spends his entire life trying to stop that chaos, only to create the greatest chaos there's ever
Yeah.
been. I mean,
Yes. Exactly.
I mean, it's a fascinating trail to follow. It's an
Yeah.
absolutely fascinating trail to
It
follow.
is. It is.
It's mind boggling.
And it also speaks to, I mean, that whole character, it also speaks to the simple fact of how Batman is unique from every other superhero in the simple fact that Batman is who he is. Bruce Wayne is actually his alter ego. It's not who he is.
Exactly.
The moment his parents died, every other superhero, is different. Superman's different in the simple fact that he is a very compartmentalized character. You can kind of see if you read in the comics and various things and various points of his life, he has about 4 different personalities, maybe
Mhm.
5. You got Superman, which is what the world sees and knows. You have Clark Kent, the Metropolis one that they know there as a reporter. Then you have the Smallville Clark Kent when he goes home to his parents. It's completely different from the Clark Kent in Metropolis.
Yeah.
Then you have Kal-El, the last son of Krypton. Um, and then you have the aspect of all of those whenever they're with Lois. And it's a very so he's a more layered personality, more
Yeah.
so
Absolutely.
than people want to give him credit for, actually. Um,
Yeah. Yep.
but
I I I agree, and I think that's one of the main problems why they're not able to get Superman to be as popular as he used to be, because they're so busy focusing. It's the same thing when you hear writers. Superman's so hard to write for because he's so powerful, creating villains to go against him, yada 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 yada. But my question is, why would you have to do that? Lex Luthor is not the most powerful villain Superman has ever met, but yet he beats him all the time. So I mean, so because the focus of Superman is not so much about his powers, but about what makes him do what he does with those powers. That's the
yeah,
focus of Superman.
his
That's I
own
mean, that's the
psyche.
true aspect. That's the true aspect of him, his psyche and everything.
Yeah, yeah,
So they miss a lot in that respect when it comes to him.
yeah.
But I find it interesting because taking Superman and Batman and you throw in Wonder Woman for DC's Trinity, so to speak. It's a
Right.
fascinating aspect because Superman's always been labeled truth, justice, and the American way. But if you look at the 3 of them, they actually represent an aspect of each one of those, because Batman would be justice. That's what he's seeking.
Yes.
Superman is the American way. Be kind to everybody, take care of everybody. We look out, we're all here together. Let's make it
An
work.
ideal of what the American way should be, anyway.
Exactly. Yeah. The ideal of it. The ideal of it. So what you have is Clark Kent being the real person and Superman's the mask. While on the flip side, you have Bruce Wayne, who's the mask, but Batman's the real person. And then you have Wonder Woman, who represents truth. She wears no mask and pretends to be nothing other than what she is.
Mm.
So I've always found it interesting. So in
Yeah.
that respect, the real face is Clark, and he represents the American way. Bruce his real face is Batman. He represents justice, and Wonder Woman, who doesn't split among any of that whatsoever, is just herself, who represents truth.
You know, whenever and I noticed what you said about Superman, Clark being the real self, and Superman being the mask. You know, I've never thought of it like that. I think whenever I really think about it, I thought he's so much more complex than that. I think that each one of him, he's not a mask. I think it's more of a simple fact that he has each of those aspects to make up one particular face. I think he's all of those things.
Oh, I know.
Oh no, okay, I get what you're saying now.
No.
No, you good. I just whenever I look at the character and the complexity of it, to me, he doesn't even really have a mask. I get, except for maybe, you know, I guess in the aspect of that, he tries to hide his identity. That's the only mask, you know, trying to hide his identity to keep, you know, the people close to him safe. But in reality, when I look at the character, he doesn't have a mask. He's just he's compartmentalized. You know, it's just he's parts. There's parts to a whole when I look at him.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and you're absolutely right on that. Because as far as the masking is concerned, like I said, Clark is the real person to me. Superman is the mask. But the thing, but the difference between him and Batman is that the real person and the mask is more aligned with each other than what you see with Bruce, between him being Bruce Wayne and being Batman.
Right. Yeah, because
Bruce is Batman all the time. He's Batman all the time. It makes no difference. He only puts on the Playboy thing when he's got to go to work, do a social function,
he puts on
stuff.
He puts on the $1 billion face of Bruce Wayne as a facade,
right?
To take away from Batman.
And even though he has that mask on, he's still Batman. He still moves like him. He still thinks like him. Clark is Clark, whether he's Clark or Superman. It makes no difference. The same overall concept is there. The kindness, the small town charm, the values that was given to him by Ma and Pa Kent, so on and so forth. Right. So but Bruce, whether he's with the mask or not with the mask, he's always Batman.
Always Batman. Yeah, and that statement right there about him always being Batman. I think Batman Beyond did a wonderful point of bringing that around. I think it was in that episode with the I can't remember if it was the sound guy. It was somebody. It was an episode where it was making Bruce go, where he was thinking he was going crazy, and he got hurt, and then the bandage that he had over his head, you know, it ended up having like a sound thing in there to make him hear stuff, and he said he knew it wasn't him because he never calls himself Bruce. Mm-hmm. And when Terry McGinnis looked at him and said, well, what do you call yourself? Batman. Mm-hmm. And he was like, well, I'm Batman now. He's like, you haven't been as long as I have, you know. It's pretty much, you know, that was a thing. And he's like, I still call myself Batman. That is who I am.
Yeah. I mean, Bruce Wayne died the night his parents died.
Yes.
I mean, there's no question to that. There's no questions about it. He wasn't physically killed, but spiritually, mentally, emotionally, philosophically, whatever you want to call it. That 8-year-old boy died that night his parents died.
Exactly.
Batman was born right then and there.
Yeah, he was born then.
And born right then and there at that moment.
Yes, that is something we agree on. He was born in that moment. But I urge you to look into the other two characters. I mean, even if you I'm telling you, that Darth Plagueis book is just so, it's so wonderful. That the movie
that's the Emperor Palpatine one, right?
Yes, that's about him becoming him, you know, being found by Darth Plagueis and becoming, you know, becoming Emperor Palpatine or Darth Sidious, is, you know, his Sith name is given. And it be growing into that and beginning to see that, you know, his mentality and how how sadistic he was and narcissistic. I mean, his narcissism, I mean, he's completely narcissistic. It's amazing whenever you begin to see this character and you read the growth through it. And don't get me wrong, I can't think of the man now that plays him. You know, I can't see anyone else playing him. The acting is wonderful, but there's something to be said about the book that goes in deep into the psyche and the explanation of what this character is, that gives you a new type of appreciation for this villain, which is why he's my number two. And then, of course, the character of Sosuke Aizen. I mean, the monologues he gives. I mean, not only with the scope of his combat ability, as well as the mastermind level, to be able to fool fool people for so long, and how Tite Kubo written him. And the simple fact, it's not until about, I think, the third season that you find out that this guy right here is the villain. You go through the whole time thinking it's somebody else. And you're trying to figure out what's going on, and you think it's somebody else that's the villain. And when you actually find out it's this guy, and then when he comes to the fact, okay, it's out, it's time for me to show my true colors and what I am, and the arrogance that he talks to him, but he's able to back it up. It's one thing I always found interesting. You know, there's nothing worse than a guy that can talk shit to you and back it up while he's doing it.
Those are few and far between for sure.
And he is definitely that character, and just brilliantly written. The mysteriousness still to the character, because you know there's still a lot about the character that's not known and undiscovered. But you know, you get the pretty much point of what he is and who he is and what he wants to become. And what he wants to become was over everything. And, you know, to end up, you know, getting, you know, so close, but then falling short. And then get also, you know, alongside seeing this villain and diving into his psyche. And then at the same time, you get to see the growth of the protagonist, Ichigo. Those two tangents together, it was just an amazing, I don't know what the word I'm looking for. It was amazing kind of tension between them, to see them grow, to see yourself to begin to understand, and the depth of these characters. It's pretty good. And that's why I'd have to say Ichigo is probably my favorite protagonist in anime, period. As far as, you know, in Japanese anime, that type of style, because the depth to the character, his reasoning for wanting, for what he does is much more in depth than, you know, all the others. You know, everybody else is just about, you know, they want to get stronger just to get stronger. You know, you can't really find out, you don't really understand, and they don't even really understand why. But him, you get to see that his whole reason for doing so is he really truly wants to protect everyone. I think there's only two individuals he actually kills, two enemies, maybe even one, when you go through the whole regular anime arcs. That and I think the only one he ends up actually killing is Ulukura. Everybody else, he significantly wounds him, but he doesn't. He's the type of character he hates killing. Pretty much, kind of like Batman, but he's very intricate and deep. So, but yeah, I encourage anyone to check out the villains that I named. Well, I guess I got a question. Who would your top 5 villains be, Lawrence? If you think about it.
Well, you had 3 of them.
Yeah, I knew that.
Joker, Lex Luthor, Magneto. My 4th one would have been Dr. Doom.
Okay. Yeah, I was right there. It was hard.
Yeah, I know. And then so that would be 4, and my last one would have been Darkseid.
Okay. Cool.
I still don't believe to this day that he's been used to his fullest capacity.
I
I
agree. I agree.
Dark Side should have been everything that Thanos was and more.
Yeah, yeah. They just it's like they just it's like somebody they don't want to try and do things with him to me. Um, but who knows? Who knows what the future holds? But can't say so far. As far as with their animated universe, DC is they're kicking ass and doing real good as far as with those movies and can't wait to see more of what they got next coming up.
Oh yeah,
And then Marvel's just trying to get everything together here with the COVID. That way they can get their cinematic universe kicked off because we all know that the animated one, it's pretty much it's pretty much it's like playing Russian roulette, but they're most of the time they're not going to get much there. I think most of that it's all for kids. So it's they're by Disney, so most of that's going to be kids focused on the animation in there now. But they did have a good. Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say they did have a good little run there back in the '90s, of course, with the animated Spider-Man series, and of course the animated Uncanny X-Men. But after that, it kind of they had a few movies, animated movies here and there, but after that, it's pretty much done.
Yeah, they seem to always have a problem with sticking the landing. I don't know why that is.
Yeah.
But I had a question for you.
Oh, go ahead.
If you had to pick one, what villain would you pick who you think falls into the same concept as Darkseid, where they had a lot of potential, but nobody's using them properly?
A lot of potential.
Yeah, I know that's a tough one.
Bane.
Who?
Bane. As far as I understand, not on the power level scale, but as far as being used in the potential Bane, I mean, being the one who actually broke the bat, that whole storyline of how he wore him down, and then after that, they just left him.
Yeah.
To me, that's the first one that I can think of that comes to mind. And then I guess if you want to talk about on the I guess what you want to say, those super powered villain side. From Marvel, I always think about Mr. Sinister. To me, he was underutilized a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot more that can be done with him. I could see that. I could definitely see that. You're talking about a man who's literally been around a couple of centuries and has literally
I think he would be
gotten copies of DNA from every mutant ever born.
Yeah. I think he'd be the third oldest mutant, of course, with Apocalypse.
Something like that.
And then there's I can't think of the next one. He's like the pirate when he'd be around 500 or 600 years old. And then I think it's Sinister after that. I think he was underutilized.
Well, don't forget Selene, the Black Queen.
The Black Queen.
Yeah.
Oh,
with Selene from the Hellfire Club.
From the Hellfire Club, right, with Sebastian Shaw.
Yeah, she got a couple of centuries under her belt too.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, but if I'm correct, I believe Apocalypse is the oldest of all of them.
Yes. Apocalypse is the oldest. Then I think I looked it up a while ago, but it was a gosh, I can't remember his name, but he had his origins as being a pirate guy, and he was somehow he was somehow undead. Let me see if I can look it up here real quick. It's been years ago when I looked it up. But,
let's see. But while you're doing that, just not to leave dead space. Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor fascinates me considerably so. Because Lex's whole game plan, Lex is not even evil per se. He's just upset because he doesn't want to let an alien be greater than humanity. So that always fascinated me too, in that respect. Because whether he intends to or not, he pretty much proves the importance of humanity and what humanity's capable of when they have the right motivation behind them. Unfortunately, that motivation is the elimination of Superman. but
Yeah.
yeah, it's
I'm
kind of
trying to.
weird. Okay, so let's see.
I think they may be.
Let's see. Okay, no, it's not Darwin. Darwin is a reactive mutation. You're not talking about Phantom X, are you?
No. They and then, like I said, it's been a really long time. So they probably ain't no telling how much they have changed it.
Well, that's true. That's true.
So I'm trying to look and see.
Oh, I stand corrected. Selene is older than Apocalypse.
Oh, yes. I see this now.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, so older than Apocalypse. Wow. Okay.
Wow. And then
Wow.
it also says her very existence seems to suggest that there were others who predated Apocalypse who were presumably the basis for legends of gods and monsters.
Yeah, I think they were called the Eternals, Externals, or something
Yes,
like that.
yeah, I got to thinking about that. So yeah, it got okay. So I wish.
Let's try this. Let's see what I get.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Omega level. Let's see.
Oh yeah, Mega level. Yeah, that'd be a good place to start. What are we talking about here? Da 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 da. As the most one, it's really. Nope. We all know it's not Cyclops. Stop playing.
It's crazy, huh?
Well, it's not Havoc,
No.
because that's Cyclops, one of Cyclops' brothers. That's weird. See, and for the
It's
life of me, I
hard.
can't. Yeah, I can't. I can't recall a pirate mutant for the life of me. And you know what's gonna happen, right? As soon as the stream ends, you're gonna remember.
Yeah, probably. But it's been so long. Like I said,
Yeah, because I know about Corsair. That's Cyclops. That's Cyclops, Havoc, and
it's his
Vulcan's
dad.
father.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's their dad. I know that. And everybody else, so Starjammers, they're aliens, not mutants. So, and I know when they thought Corsair was dead, Havoc took over the Starjammers. But other than that, that's the only thing I can recall pirate wise. Was he from an alternate timeline or something,
No,
or
I can't
was
remember.
was he from the Kree galaxy, the Shi'ar galaxy, or
I thought he was on Earth,
on
but
Earth?
yeah, I thought it was like like the whole that type of pirate deal. That's what I was getting. Not like Corsair, but I can't think of his doggone name.
And it's a dude.
God. Yeah, it was a dude, as far as I know.
Black or white character?
Oh my God. You have me trying to remember stuff that golly, I can't.
Was it
Ooh,
from
my goodness.
Was it from the animation show?
No. I'm telling you, I looked it up,
Oh,
and
it's actually okay. So it's actually from the comics.
yeah, because I was looking up the oldest, mutants, and that's whenever it came to him.
Hmm.
All right, but yeah,
It's
so
not ringing.
okay,
It's not ringing a bell for me. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
that's cool.
And I'm typing and I'm searching, but I'm not seeing anything.
Yeah, but apparently, yeah, of course, yeah, they're saying it's Celine Gallo, and see Gallio at that time, you know, it was
yeah. But they're calling her the oldest.
maybe it's the coolant.
Maybe it's what?
Maybe he wasn't a pirate. Maybe he was a sorcerer. Maybe it was just. Let me see if it's just Coolant Gath, dude. I don't know.
No, Coolant Gath is a sorcerer. I know that.
It's not him. It's not him.
Yeah, he's fought the X-Men, the Avengers, Spider-Man, all that good stuff.
Gosh, I'm trying to remember. Yeah. But yeah, it's wow. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Nope, I got nothing.
Yeah. Let's see. We going here. See something here. Maybe I can.
Are you watching your time on the stream or no?
Oh yeah, no. Let me look.
Because it's 51 minutes now.
Yeah, we going. Yeah, I'm gonna close it down. We can go in the back channel and talk.
Yeah. We could talk offline because like I said, I don't want you having dead space and while researching and all that good stuff.
Thinking about that. But yeah, I want to thank everyone that came out. You can check the replay on it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Gote Gaming Verse. I want to thank everyone who has subscribed recently. Appreciate it. Don't forget, you can always donate to the content at the $ Tip Eisen Summer. But thank y'all for coming out.